Telephone receiver ring. Ring. Coco Gauff answers a call after stunning WTA 1000 Wuhan Open victory. The arena lights in Wuhan glowed like a halo, reflecting off the polished court, where champions are made and legends are forged. The air was thick with anticipation, the buzz of cameras, fans, and commentators blending into a low hum that seemed to vibrate through every fiber of the stadium. At center court stood Coco Gauff, 21, young but already a titan in women's tennis. She had just battled her way to the WTA 1000 Wuhan Open title, defeating Jessica Pegula in a match that had every spectator holding their breath. The scoreboard read her name at the top, a triumphant echo of every drill, every sacrifice, every sleepless night. Amid the cheers, the flashes, and the roar of fans, a single sound cut through the chaos. The ring of her phone. Telephone receiver ring. Ring. It was more than just a ringtone. It was a signal. A reminder that while trophies glitter, real life waits outside the lines. Coco paused, holding her racket in one hand, the WTA 1000 trophy gleaming in the other. Then, with a composed smile and the calm that had defined her rise, she answered, victory earned. The match itself had been a roller coaster. Coco's game was a masterclass in balance, power, agility, and poise wrapped into every forehand and backhand. Pegula's defense was formidable, each rally stretching the limits of endurance and mental toughness. From the start, Coco had shown determination. Her serves were crisp, precise, and strategically placed. Her footwork was a blur. She moved with the elegance of a seasoned champion, anticipating every shot. Every drop shot, every passing shot, every cross-court winner was executed with the confidence of a player who knew her own power. By the second set, Coco had dug deep, relying on her resilience and mental sharpness to counter Pegula's aggression. Fans erupted with every point won. The stadium vibrated with excitement, every cheer echoing like thunder. When the final point was won, Coco raised her arms. A roar of approval swept across the stands. Cameras clicked, capturing every victorious smile, every exhausted breath. And then came the ring, a pause before the moment. Coco's hand hovered over her phone. She could have ignored it, postponed the call until after the interviews, after the press conferences, after the celebrations. But something in that ring, perhaps the tone, the timing, the symbolism, demanded attention. She stepped to the edge of the court, away from the media, the crowd, the bright lights. The stadium seemed to fade around her, leaving only the glowing screen and the familiar number. With a deep breath, she answered, "Hello." Her voice, though calm, carried a subtle tremor of excitement and fatigue. The crowd, sensing something intimate unfolding, hushed in anticipation, giving her the rare gift of silence in a space otherwise roaring with noise. The caller, it was Jalen Sarah, her boyfriend and unwavering supporter throughout her career. His voice was immediately recognizable, a blend of warmth and pride. "Coco, I saw every point. You were incredible." Coco smiled, still holding her trophy, the phone pressed gently to her ear. She could hear the faint hum of celebrations in his background, a reminder that while she dominated the world stage, life and love awaited elsewhere. "Thanks, Jalen," she replied. "It was intense. Pegula really pushed me." "I know, but you handled it like the champion you are. Everyone's talking about your composure on that court, how you stayed calm even in the tightest rallies." For Coco, this call was more than a simple congratulations. It was a grounding moment, a reminder that behind the victories, the fame, the trophies, there are people who support her unconditionally, people who saw the human behind the athlete. Flashbacks in the journey. As she listened, Coco's mind wandered briefly to the journey that had brought her here. From her early days on the dusty court of Atlanta, she had shown precocious talent, smashing balls of precision and studying every professional match she could find. Every sacrifice, missing birthdays, skipping vacations, enduring long flights and grueling training sessions, had been worth this moment. Her parents, her coaches, her mentors, and yes, Jalen, had been her constant support system. They had cheered her through losses and celebrated victories that were sometimes invisible to the rest of the world. "Remember when we trained in that tiny gym in Florida?" Jalen's voice reminded her, "Look how far you've come." Coco laughed softly, a mix of nostalgia and pride. It was true. Every early morning drill, every repetition, every lesson about perseverance had led to this. The moment she held a WTA 1000 trophy, heard her loved one's voice, and felt the culmination of years of dedication. The media frenzy. Meanwhile, the stadium press center erupted. Microphones, cameras, and journalists all tried to capture the aftermatch reactions. Social media began buzzing almost immediately with clips of Coco's victory, and soon her conversation with Jalen became the next viral sensation. Coco Gauff answers call after historic Wuhan Open victory. Rising tennis star celebrates win and personal moment simultaneously. Fans and commentators alike praise her humility and relatability. In a world often obsessed with spectacle, Coco's phone call reminded the audience that champions are also human, capable of joy, connection, and intimate moments amid the chaos of competition. Emotional center. Coco and Jalen spoke for a few more minutes, sharing laughter, recounting key moments of the match, and reflecting on the emotional weight of her journey. "I'm proud of you," he said simply. Those 3 words, unadorned and sincere, meant more than any headline. Coco felt a warmth that no trophy could replicate. Her eyes shimmered with a quiet realization that while she played for titles and rankings, she also played for love, support, legacy beyond the court. Coco Gauff's Wuhan Open victory was already historic. A WTA 1000 title added another trophy to her cabinet, another achievement to her career. But the story of her phone call, her pause, her gratitude, her connection, became just as iconic. In interviews, podcasts, and sports documentaries, analysts highlighted this as a defining moment. Coco didn't just win a tournament. She reminded the world that champions are not only defined by skill, but by humanity, balance, and relationships. Young athletes cited her as an example of composure, emotional intelligence, and grace. Sponsors, journalists, and fans praise her not only for her talent, but for her grounded nature, the ability to celebrate publicly while keeping the personal moments sacred. Epilogue, answering the next call. Months later, when Coco Gauff reflected on the Wuhan Open, she often thought about that single phone call. It wasn't just a congratulatory moment. It was a reminder of why she played, who she played for, and what truly mattered. Telephone receiver ring. Ring. She knew that with every call, every match, every challenge, she had the power to answer with courage, humility, and gratitude. The trophy shone in her room, but the real victory was far deeper. The human connection that made every triumph meaningful. Coco Gauff had answered the call, both literally and figuratively, and in doing so, she had shown the world that greatness is measured not just in victories, but in heart, grace, and perspective. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.